Hey guys, it's Daniel. I want to do a different video for you guys and talk about the years that I was really bullied in middle school and how I dealt with it and how what I did to overcome the bullying in middle school. So I graduated from elementary school, which was around June of 1998, and I took most of the I took the summer off that July and August to just kind of rest. Then I started middle school at Walter Reed Middle School in September of 1998. And for the most part, the first few years of 1998 were very good. I mean, nobody was picking on me. I was, and again, I've said this before. I was in special ed, so I wasn't in regular classes like the regular kids because I had a learning disability. So I was in special ed pretty much throughout all my school years until I graduated high school. So all through 1998, everything went well in terms of nobody picking on me. Now we get to the year 1999 and things started to change. You know, these kids in the regular classes that were picking on me, they kept calling me, saying, "Yo, you're a retard," and this and that. All these stupid jackasses were just disrespecting me, saying, "Oh, you're a retard, man. You're in special ed." And I got into fights with all these kids. I got into a lot of fights in my middle school years in 1999. And so all through 1999, I was getting picked on. And then we get to the year 2000. It was the same shit. I was getting picked on. I was getting picked on, getting into a lot of fights, going in principal's office a lot, talking to my counselor. She was a fat white lady. I forgot her name. And they used to tell him, stop picking on him, stop picking on Daniel, leave him alone. And once we left the office, they would go back picking on me. I mean, they would stop maybe for a day or two, but they would go back picking on me. So my school, who I was making money for, didn't give a shit about me. They didn't care about me. I told my counselors, I'm like, come on, guys. There's nothing you can do to stop these kids from picking on me. I mean, my counselor didn't do anything. My stupid principal didn't do anything. He kept telling me, oh, just kids are kids, Daniel. Just ignore it, Daniel. And they didn't do anything. They didn't care. So I told my dad one day that, I told my parents, well, both my parents, I told my mom and dad, I told my dad one day, I said, can you help me out, man? I mean, you got to help me out. And I appreciate my dad. And he said, let me pick a day and I'll go with you to your school. And you literally take me to all the kids that are picking on you. Just take me to all the kids and I will talk to them and tell them to stop picking on you. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So one day he dropped me off and he went with me, and it was like in the afternoon. So I did what he told me to do. I went to literally all the kids that were picking on me. So he went to them and he said, why are you guys picking on him? What is the deal? And they couldn't say anything because they didn't know I would do something like this. They thought I would just take their shit and just leave it. But once my dad got involved, they were saying, "Oh, no, it's nothing," and they were making all these excuses as to why they were picking on me and stuff. And he basically told them, he said, "Come on, guys, if you don't like him, just leave him alone, and stop bugging him." So I literally point to every single person that was picking on me, and yeah, he did that for me, and it stopped for a little bit. But then they went back and started picking on me again. And then it was like, I think the summer of 2000, I got these chicken pox. I don't know what it was. I had all these chicken pox, all these dots on my body. So I had to stay home for like a month or two. And it was the best thing, just to get away from that atmosphere, just to get away from these dumbasses that were picking on me. And here's another funny thing, guys. It wasn't just the regular kids that were picking on me. The kids that were in special ed were picking on me too. The kids in my special ed class were picking on me too. They were fucking picking on me too. Now imagine that. Imagine you and these kids, guys and girls. We all have the same learning disability. We're all in the same classes, trying to get through these classes, and these piece of shits, these motherfuckers, these special ed kids that were like me, were picking on me too. I mean, I had this guy named I was being picked on by this guy named Vernon. He was a black guy. Kevin, this Hispanic guy. We used to both. I used to get in it with both of these guys every day. And these are kids. Again, these are kids that are in my special ed class. Mind you, we're all in the special ed classes, and they're picking on me, and they're bullying me too, just like the regular kids in the regular classes are bullying me. It was a nightmare, guys. 6th through 7th grade, it was an absolute nightmare going to middle school, let alone being in this stupid place that I didn't want to be, because they weren't even teaching me anything. They were teaching me all this stupid shit that I don't even fucking use anyway. But let alone that, getting picked on by regular kids and special ed kids. I mean, it was a nightmare, guys. And I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. That's how bad it was. I would not wish this kind of abuse and pain on my worst enemy. So yeah, 6th to 7th grade, it was bad. And then once we get to like 2001, or actually the year like fall 2000, I was in 8th grade, so I was the big guy. And then it slowly started to deteriorate. It would stop. And once we got to like 2001, then it ultimately stopped. And then I graduated from middle school in June of 2001. So it was a nightmare, guys. I don't know how I got through it. Like I said, the school didn't do anything. My counselor didn't do anything. My principal didn't do it. They didn't give a shit. They didn't give a damn. I was just there just trying to get my education, just mind my business, and these kids constantly kept bullying me. The regular kids, the special ed kids that were in my class. I mean, it was just a nightmare. And for anybody going through that, my advice to you is tell your parents. Tell your parents and say, hey man, I can't be going through this. Either you guys help me in this situation, or I'm not going. Say I want to do homeschool. So tell your parents. Tell your parents. Or if there's any parents watching this video, listen to your kids, because now it's a different time now that then in the late 90s and early 2000s, where life was a little bit better, because now you got all these shootings and stuff. It's a bad time now. It's a bad time. So if your kids are telling you that they're getting picked on and it's that serious, you got to make a decision. Either you want to keep your kids there for them to get abused, or you could do the right thing and just have them be homeschooled. Do the schooling at home, and then they can get their diploma at home without being in the school and getting abused by all these kids. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys, my story on how I was bullied in middle school, and I overcame it. I didn't snap or anything or do anything to these kids. I mean, I got into a lot of fights, but I kept my head held high, and I did graduate from middle school, which was good. And then ultimately, I went to high school and graduated from high school. So, if anybody's going through this, yeah, don't take it. Do homeschool, and don't go. Because there's nobody should go through that. And again, it's not like these schools are even teaching anything. They're not teaching you anything. They're not fucking teaching you anything that you're even going to use in this life. They're just prepping you to be a fucking slave, to do all these stupid jobs. So they're not even teaching anything for you to even go through this abuse with all these dumbasses. So yeah, guys, like and comment, and tell me if you guys went through this as a kid, or if you're going through this now in school, and just give me your thoughts. Take care, guys.